Power levels have always been a mainstay in Dragon Ball. They're used to represent the physical strength of the characters in the series. Something that I'm sure many people have wondered is, could power levels be measured in real life? That is what I would like to discuss in this video, as well as how power levels don't make sense in Dragon Ball. Could Master Roshi really destroy the moon? Could Vegeta really destroy a planet in the Saiyan saga? Let's find out. I have chosen to convert PSI to power level. To do this, I looked up the average PSI produced by a punch from the average adult male. That force is 150 PSI according to Google. In early Dragon Ball Z, it was shown that the power level of an average adult male is 5. 150 divided by 5 equals 30. So a PSI of 30 equals a power level of 1. 150 PSI is only the average force of an untrained person. Trained professionals can produce up to 800 PSI in a punch, which would be a power level of 27. This would fit quite well into Dragon Ball, as several trained human fighters, such as Colonel Silver, Ran Fan, Colonel Violet, and Pomput, are estimated to have power levels around 15. This could be around the power of a punch from Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime. Arnold Schwarzenegger may have been strong, but he was not trained as a professional fighter. Next, I would like to cover the power levels of chimpanzees and gorillas. In the past, people believed chimps to be 4 to 5 times stronger than the average person. More recent research has suggested that chimps are closer to 1.5 or 2 times stronger than a human, with different specialties of what their muscles can do. Power level wise, this would mean that chimps average between a power level of 7.5 to 10. Gorillas, on the other hand, are estimated to be anywhere from 4 to 10 times stronger than a human. They are strong enough to bend iron and uplift some trees. The power levels of gorillas would range from 20 to 50. It might seem weird to some, but a character's ability to break various kinds of rocks is a good representation of their power level. Different types of rock have different levels of hardness. Rocks are divided into 5 categories of hardness. A power level of 200 would be needed to be able to break the toughest of the soft rocks. The strongest medium rocks would require a power level of 480 to break. The power level needed for medium hard rocks would be 833, which would be stronger than Garlic Jr. from the Dead Zone movie. A character would need to be stronger than Raditz, with a power level of 1300 in order to break hard rocks. A power level of 1400 would be needed for the very hard rocks to break. The hardest rock of all, diamond, would require a power level of 42,000 to break, as it is estimated to require a PSI of 1.25 million. That's roughly Ginyu Force level of strength. The next thing I want to cover is also one of the biggest issues with power levels in Dragon Ball. That issue is the destroying of moons and planets. The amount of force needed to destroy the moon is estimated to be 120 octillion psi. That's the number 12 with 28 zeros behind it. Convert that to power level and it equals 4 octillion. It is estimated that the force needed to destroy Earth is 1800 times more than the moon. 4 octillion times 1800 equals 7.2 nonillion, which would be the power level needed to destroy Earth. I would like to point out that these stated power levels are for destroying the moon and the earth as well as rocks, but with only a punch. It is possible for a lower power level character to destroy a planet as well. Energy attacks have higher power levels than the character that use it. In the Raditz fight, Goku's Kamehameha wave was shown to be 2.2 times stronger than Goku himself, and Piccolo's special beam cannon was 3.3 times stronger. So a character with a power level of 2.5 nonillion could still destroy a planet by using a special beam cannon or something with similar power. I thought it would be fun to calculate the punch of an average person if they could use Dragon Ball's transformations. The base version of Kaioken is a 1.5 increase, so a person using Kaioken would have a punch of 225 psi. All Kaioken forms beyond the first simply multiply your natural strength by the stated number, such as Kaioken times 2, which would give you a PSI punch of 300, while Kaioken times 3 would give you a PSI of 450. The highest level of Kaioken there is times 20, which would give you a PSI punch of 3000 for a normal person. The Super Saiyan transformation is technically 4 different forms, commonly known as grades. Listing them from weakest to strongest, you have regular Super Saiyan, Ascended Saiyan, also called
I am Super Vegeta
by Vegeta, Ultra Saiyan, and Mastered Super Saiyan. Regular Super Saiyan multiplies strength by 50. The average human in this state would be able to punch with a force of 7,500 psi. That's enough to break any of the soft rocks. Ascended Saiyan is estimated to be 3 times that, or a multiplier of 150, which would give someone a punch of 22,500 psi. Ultra Saiyan multiplies strength by 300, which would allow someone to punch with 45,000 psi, and the Mastered Super Saiyan form multiplies your strength by 500, which would give a punch force of 75,000 psi, which would be enough to break any of the rocks except diamond. Super Saiyan 2 is twice the power of Mastered Super Saiyan, which would create a punch of 150,000 psi for the average person. Super Saiyan 3 is 10 times more powerful than Super Saiyan 2, which would yield a punch of 1.5 million, enough to break Diamond even as a normal person. With the introduction of Daima, I can see an argument for a Grade 2 version of Super Saiyan 3, which Vegeta referred to as the power of this form is currently unknown. The GT version of Super Saiyan 4 is estimated to be 200 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3, which would create a punch of 300 million psi. Dragon Ball Daima has its own version of Super Saiyan 4. The power of this form is currently unknown, but I personally like to think that both versions are just 2 different grades of the same form. The God forms, as well as the Instinct forms, don't have known multipliers, so I can't calculate their punch force. As I had previously stated, there are some inconsistencies regarding power levels. Master Roshi was able to destroy the moon during the World Tournament. Piccolo also destroyed the moon during the Saiyan Saga. And Vegeta destroyed a planet during the Saiyan Saga. According to some statements by Akira Toriyama, as well as Babidi, these feats of strength should not have been possible for these characters. My personal explanation for this is that Akira Toriyama has always been a gag manga writer. He wrote the manga Dr. Slump, a gag manga, where it was common for the main character to destroy both the moon and the earth as simple jokes. The beginning of Dragon Ball was very comedic and did not start to get serious until at least the Tien Shinhan saga. So I believe these early examples of characters destroying moons and planets was Akira Toriyama trying to be funny, and he had not stopped to think if these characters would physically be able to do those things. I hope that this video has been informative, or at least entertaining. Do you think converting PSI into power level was a good idea? Should I have used a different unit of measurement perhaps? Please let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.